Hello and welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. And this is the match preview for Everton's away match against Chelsea, which will be on Monday night. Um, and I think, I've been quite surprised at how negative things have still been uh after the weekend's result against Burnley. And, obviously the second points deduction would have played into that quite a bit. And, there might have been some people who weren't expecting us to get another points deduction. I was actually expecting us to get deducted more points than we did, but situationally, that will have made people worry just that little bit more now that with those 2 points that but we basically lost out of that win. It's basically as if we drew on Saturday, which would have been a disaster at the time, pretty much that there's a position we're in now. Uh, we're going to struggle again, but I don't think it's quite as simple as that. I think getting the win finally breaking that hoodoo, Calvert-Lewin scoring again and stuff. Um, I think there's going to be a lot more confidence now, and I think there might even almost be kind of that siege mentality really, based on the with the points being deducted now. It might very well be that we almost, and playing well again, almost, or getting results at the very least. We get a good draw up at Newcastle, and then finally a win. Of course, it is almost kind of similar to the situation we were in when the first points deduction hit. Um, and of course, we played Chelsea in that run of games and got a very good win against them. So I actually think the timing of this all is might actually work quite well for us. And I think Chelsea are kind of the sort of team you want to be playing um when hopefully there is this sort of mood going on because everyone knows that Chelsea have a terrible performance and a really, bad defeat in them, home or away now. That's just been the case for the last two seasons. And they're not the same fearsome Chelsea side they were. And even back then we used to beat them a lot at Goodison, but we never ever used to get a result at Stamford Bridge. And of course, we still haven't. That winless run I think is almost 30 years old now. Like we've won at Old Trafford, Anfield, the Emirates, the Etihad, all the big ones, Tottenham as well. We've won at all those grounds in the time since we last won at Chelsea, which is just ridiculous. Never in my lifetime have I seen an Everton team win at Stamford Bridge, but I do genuinely believe that there might not be a better time for it. I don't necessarily think that's what's going to happen, but I do think I think we're gonna get something from Chelsea. That's just my base feeling. So I mean, obviously, you know, side's looking close to full strength again now. The likes of Dan Juma still not quite there. Obviously, Dobbin, who obviously scored his first goal for Everton against Chelsea in the reverse fixture, he's not quite ready yet, I don't think. But Onana's back. He missed the game against Burnley with a slight knock, and obviously Gana missed the game. Due to the birth of his child. He's going to now be back for that. Ramadan's all over as well, so I imagine Dykes will have less reservations about giving the likes of Decore or Nana or Ganagay more game time now, and and the likes of Seamus Coleman coming back in and starting to do really well, and hopefully the more game time he gets, if he manages to stay injury free, um, then he can keep building on this and could be very useful for us again during the running. We missed that last season, obviously, when he got that horrible injury at Leicester, and we all thought that might very well be the last time we see him in an Everton shirt. He's still carrying on, and he's still, to his credit, the best right back we have. Um, whether that's more of a compliment to him or more of a indication of the club or whatever, based on how long now we've been talking about needing a new, better right back out there. I don't really know, but the fact is, he is still the best we've got out there. So hopefully he can stay fit. And the likes of I think that shouldn't impress it that James Garner's got a bit of a knock. Calvert-Lewin's not been training as much, but hopefully that's just all precautionary, and they're still going to be, there's still quite a few days. I'm recording this on the Friday, so there's still quite a few days before the match on Monday, and hopefully they're prepared fit for that. That being said, I'm not entirely sure if I'd start with James Garner. I think I'd change the whole midfield around again. Um, I think type of game away at Chelsea. I think would suit the likes of Onana and Ajusike. And then if it's not working like at Newcastle, you introduce a Gomez and a Garner and that energy, um, the energy of Garner and the creativity of Andre Gomez and that composure on the ball, and try and unlock the defense. I think that would probably suit us better, similar to Newcastle, really. Um, and I have the feeling that might be what we do as well. Obviously keep everyone fresh, keep everyone playing. James Garner's played for a lot of games this season, and if he's picking up knocks, then Dyche might not be too keen to start him again. And similarly, Gomez is still maybe not quite fully match sharp. He's only been back in the starting lineup again for the last few weeks. Still not got tons of consistent games under his belt, so that might be something to look at as well. So yeah, I'd probably suggest it's going to be them two, and then in midfield, and Anna and Gay, and then up front, I'd like to think Everton's still going to be able to start, and I think we saw him back, particularly in that Burnley game. And he got, obviously, it was a very fortunate goal. And people will say that it's only a penalty and a goal where he didn't really do too much. And it was quite fortunate with the blocking the kick at field or whatever, and it bouncing over the goalkeeper like it did. But it all helps, and it all, if you're getting goals like that, Dyche has said about it in his press conference so many times. Like, sometimes you just need one to like go in off your leg or whatever, and get that bit of luck, because he's been so unlucky the last few months. And people can criticize him all they want, but he's had goals disallowed for stupid fouls. He had that ridiculous incident with the red card at Crystal Palace, and he's still be getting in the positions and still working really hard, and it's just not coming from him. And you could see that, the confidence was sapping out of him week by week. And as the fans get more on his back, that can't be easy for him. But in that second half, after Burnley, after scoring that goal and, making it 2 out of 2, and, looking like he's back to his usual self, I think. And, he was taking more stuff on, um, and seems to have that confidence surging for him. So while he's in that situation, if he's fit, I think you've got to start him. However, um, if maybe he's not deemed ready to start and play for 70 odd minutes or whatever it is, I do think maybe Beto wouldn't be isn't the worst option for a game like this. Didn't it wasn't quite too effective against Newcastle, but working hard, trying stuff, and just trying to make things happen against a team like Chelsea that, will, let's be honest, they do buckle under pressure. And if we put too much on them, um, and they'll be expecting to win this game as well. They're not in too bad form recently. They're getting sloppy draws or whatever, but they're in the top half, and they have still got an outside chance of getting Europe if they get a good run together. So they've still got things to consider as well as us. Um, so like I say, if we put the pressure on them and ramp it up too much, then I think Dutch will know that there's a game there for the taking. So yeah, like I said, I'm feeling pretty good at the moment in general. I think if we hadn't got a result against Burnley, I would be starting to panic quite a bit. But we've got the win, and people will criticise about the way we got it. I actually thought we managed the game pretty well, just my opinion. Um, and there were people saying we needed to go for it more once they got to 10 men. But a win's a win at this point. We're not in a position to be fussy about how it's got done. And the reality of the situation is that Burnley didn't really have a sniff of a game really, and that's fine by me. Clean sheet, get the goal no matter how in whatever way you get it. Um, and we were still creating stuff, and we still had a few more good opportunities to extend that lead. Probably should have had another penalty as well. So not as, didn't really quite understand just how negative people were after that game. And like I said, I've touched on Bramford was superb as ever. Mikalenko again had another very good game. The whole defense obviously had a very good game as well. Um, I think McNeil is starting to look like he's back to his usual self again as well now. Seems to be. Um, I'm not sure if it's maybe a tactical tweak or whatever, but he seems to just be playing more to his strengths again, and working hard, closing down, getting down the wing a little bit more. And at the same time, I think he's getting used to this thing of like drifting inside and getting picked out and being able to drive through the middle a bit more, which it wasn't quite working for us at the moment, but I think he's adjusting to that a little bit more. So, like I said, I think things are clicking a little bit. And, obviously everyone was quite worried, myself included, that the first game back after the break, we lost to Bournemouth, but maybe that was the flash in the pan. And now we're going to see what they've actually worked on and turned over this new leaf. And as I touched on at the start, maybe the points deduction can help with that a little bit and build that siege mentality a bit again. Because they'll know that we just need to get a couple more wins, no matter how we get them, and we're probably going to be all right. Like I say, I was expecting the points deduction to be a lot worse, and that situation might have been a bit different. We might have had to do a bit more, but we now know what the situation is. Um, Obviously dependent on if this appeal somehow gets more points added on. But that's stuff that we can't really consider. We've just got to focus on getting stuff on the pitch, really. And like we're getting into this big run in now. Chelsea maybe not quite included, but playing against the likes of Forest, Brentford, and then Luton, Derby in the middle of that as well. Again, I guess a bit of a not a free hit. Derby's are never free hits, of course, but it's one of them where we're not exactly expecting to get something out of it. You know what I mean? So, but the games around that are the ones we've got to win now, and like I say, we just need to get a few of them over the belt, under our belt, and we should be fine. And that might very well start at Chelsea. Like I say, I touched on about how long we've gone without a win there, but my prediction is that we're going to get a draw. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling optimistic, and I think we're going to get a draw away from Chelsea. They're missing a lot of key players as well. Like I say, I'm drawing a lot of similarities, I think, to the Newcastle game, really. I do think it's going to go in quite similar fashion. They've got their players to worry about. Newcastle had Isak, Chelsea have obviously got Cole Palmer. But at the same time, it's saying like Enzo Fernandez isn't going to be able to play. I don't think Raheem Sterling's going to be able to play. We all know how much he loves a goal against us, and a former Liverpool player and whatever. But um, you look at that team, and like I said, this is something that could easily come back to bite me on the arse if they thrash us. But there's just not as much to worry about in this Chelsea team as there has been in the last few years, I don't think. And I think Dyche will just draw that into them really. It's like, we're at a ground where we haven't won for so long, most fans will be seeing the worst, but at the same time, you look at that side and there's no reason we can't go out there and get something. So yeah, like I said, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm sure a lot of people won't be, but regardless, comment below giving your thoughts on looking ahead to the Chelsea game, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Also, subscribe to the Toffee Blues channel for more Everton content, and we will see you in the next video. Cheers.